appreciate everybody staying around after the talks. It got a little lengthy there, but I've always thought it's really extremely important to give those guys a chance to say something, particularly the fans. They end up talking to the team members and coaches more, but I think in each and every one of them said something about how appreciative they were of the fans and the students as well. So I won't say anything. I'll just see what questions you guys have.
Roy, what has made Cole so much more efficient in these last 5 or 6 games?
Oh, it wasn't anything you said, but I don't know, several games ago I told him I wanted him to be more efficient. And I wanted his shot attempts to go down, his makes to go up, so his field goal percentage. I wanted his assists to go up and his turnovers to go down, and his defensive play to keep getting better, because I think that he really can be a very efficient point guard. We put him in a spot a couple of games where he felt like he had to score every possession himself, and his shot is much better than his percentage has been. But so the reason I laughed is I grabbed him to shoot around today, and I said, remember, more efficient tonight. And then as we were leaving the locker room, we grabbed him, and he said, yeah, I understand what you're going to say. It's being more efficient. And but I think he is that kind of player, and he hasn't had a lot of guys making shots around him that has made his numbers look even worse. Just like even Saturday, it's had 7 assists, and for 4 times he threw the ball to a guy who had a layup or a guy got fouled. He doesn't get credit for those. But I do think he was really efficient tonight. Again, what was he? 4 for 5 from 3, 8 for 8 from the line, 7 assists, 1 turnover. You know, I didn't even mention his points, but I talked about being efficient. But I thought he was sensational. I thought Garrison was sensational. B-Rob making 5 threes, and Christian, did he score all of his points in the second half? Because he's been scoring really well, but every shot he took was soft in the first half. He took a bad shot on the layup, and another one he took in there and laid it up, tried to lay it up, but it's a soft shot. But I think all of it, that's the answer, the reason I laughed when you said that.
Roy, when you add in that the Garrison scored over 20 in 5 straight games now, the fact that those two have kind of emerged as your primary scoring options, does that free things up for everybody else?
Well, it's good to have more than just one guy that can score. Like we were talking about half the season, it was almost like Cole felt like he had to score 60 for us to win. I mean, if he doesn't score 34 or whatever it was in the first game, we don't win that game. And so he had that feeling. But I do believe I'm fairly close that B-Rob, Cole, and Garrison have only played like 8 games together all year. Of course, maybe less than that if you talk about some games that B-Rob went out. So I think if having 3 guys like that always helps, but I'd like to have 5.
What's been the difference in the last 3 games? You guys had that point where you had the lead in the second half, where previously kind of bad things happened, but you guys were able to hold on to it the last 3 games.
I'm making a few shots when the other team did start making their run as well. I mean, they went down and made a 3, and B-Rob came back and made a 3. They made a 3, and Cole made a 3. So it was answering some of their scoring. We scored of our own. We're still not getting the stops that we need to get. But I guess we got 2 in a row there. When they got it to 5 or 6, that let us go back out to 9, 10, or 11 or something like that. But to play the game in this league, you got to be able to play for 40 minutes. If you take the last 5 minutes off and don't play well, you're going to lose most of those games.
That lineup you played for
I'm sorry?
That lineup you played for a large part of the second half with B-Rob and Christian and Leakey and Cole all around Garrison, sort of like a more of a...
We did that almost the whole second half against Syracuse as well.
What is it about that lineup that's starting to gel that you like so much?
I think it's our 5 best players. You know, that's what it is. And I think it's my job to figure out how to get all the 5 best players out on the court. Over the course of the season, you're trying to build some depth as well. At one point, early in the second half, I think I took Justin out because I wanted another ball handler in there, and we went, it's probably 17 minutes left in a half or something like that at Syracuse, and that was basically it. And then basically it today as well. And Justin made it a little more necessary tonight because he got 4 fouls.
You mentioned B-Rob's become a big-time player. Can you speak to his progression this year and over the whole 4 years as a player and a person?
I don't want to take credit for the person part because he's been a great kid since day one, and his mom and dad have just done a great job of supporting him and pushing him, and his dad was his coach, and I think that dad and mom pushed him all the time, but he hadn't gotten to be a better person. He's gotten more mature, but he hadn't gotten to be a better person because he was that when he came, and I think it's directly related to the family. The basketball player, he's gotten much better as a shooter. I'm not joking when I say the thing that caught my eye when I went to see Jalen Brown play is that he drove the basket and dunked on the whole team. That's the last time I've seen him do that, but it worked that night. It caught my attention, and I told him that's the last time I've seen that several times. But he's gotten better as a shooter. He's gotten better as a defender. I think the big jump for him was from his sophomore year to his junior year. You look at his stats, sophomore year he was in the 20s probably in three-point line, and last year was probably 45 or 46 because he took better shots and understood the game more. And I think that's what made it big for him.
Take one or two
11
more.
made threes on
Pardon?
Saturday. 11 made threes on Saturday,
Uh-huh.
10 tonight. What can you contribute this production from three-point range?
Well, I've said even all year long that we're better shooters than we're showing. And we have some drills in practice that guys make a lot, but haven't made them until down the stretch this year, but hopefully we'll keep making them. But I think it shows the hard work for the kids and a little more confidence that they make one. That makes them feel like they can make another one. Christian was very coachable because he couldn't throw it in the ocean early. And he understood that and backed away from it, backed away from it. And then he started getting a little more confident, and I think now when he shoots it, he thinks it's going in, and most of the time recently has gone.
The percentage of 58.8 is a season high tonight from three. Anybody else?
Coach, what does it mean for you
No,
guys? to have a-
58.8, excuse me. 58.8 is the season high. What was his competition? Come on.
50, I think Notre Dame.
Okay.
Take
really.
two more,
Yes,
JV and then
yes,
Jonathan.
JV.
What does it mean for your team to get a 3-game winning streak at this point of the season, considering how everything has went this year?
Yeah, every win is important to us, JV. I think that for me, I've always really emotionally wanted it dramatically for our seniors, and particularly B. Rob Shea, who's been there for 4 years for us. But I think that you guys, some of you play golf or attempt to, and I've always said the more you make, the more you make, and I think that helps as you go down the stretch too. We've got quite a bit of challenge left on Saturday, but I want us to enjoy this one until midnight tonight. But if you can pick a time to play better, you'd want to do it the entire season. But if you can't do it the entire season, you'd like to get better. For the most part, all of our teams have really gotten better every year, but we didn't wait until this long to do it. And I didn't push enough the right buttons at the right time this year. And but they're doing some nice things now.
Last one, John.
Roy, how was Armando's ankle? Was it?
You know, it's God Almighty. I can't remember how many it is, but I didn't realize that he wasn't going to play until we came back tonight here, because I thought what he was doing in the shoot around today would probably allow him to play. And we had that with Cole, we had it with Garrison, we had it now to Armando, and we may have had it one other time to somebody else. So it's not the most comfortable feeling, because the whole plan was that Armando was going to start him, because he bounced back so quickly after he sprained his ankle against Ohio State, I think he played Virginia. But he just felt like he was about 65% and didn't think he could move his feet laterally, and so it wasn't much of a decision. It was an easy decision.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you, guys.
A reminder, we'll be here